भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत् सेवया भगवती उत्तमं श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। So continuing with our discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, Remembrance of Lord Krishna, text number 24. Manne asuran bhagavastrayadhishe sadam marga bhinivashta chittan ye samyuge achakshataksha anse suna bhayu udmapatantam. I consider the demons who are inimical towards the Lord to be more than the devotees, because while fighting with the Lord, absorbed in the thoughts of enmity, they are able to see the Lord carried on the shoulder of Garuda, the son of Kashyap, and carrying the wheel weapon in his hand. So this is Uddhava is speaking like that they are more than the devotees, the demons, because although they have the enmity in their heart, and then they fight with the Lord, but they can take darshan of the Lord like that. Of course, this way Uddhava is trying to say that they are better than me, because at least when they died, they at least had the darshan of the Lord. But this is not the right conclusion, because devotees always carry the Lord in their hearts in a favorable, loving, devoted mood. Purport. The asuras who fought against the Lord face to face got salvation due to their being killed by the Lord. This salvation of the demons is not due to their being devotees of the Lord. It's because of the Lord's causeless mercy. Anyone who is slightly in touch with the Lord, somehow or other, is greatly benefited, even to the point of salvation, due to the excellence of the Lord, or due to the mercy of the Lord. He is so kind that he awards salvation even to his enemies, because they come into contact with him and are indirectly absorbed in him by their inimical thoughts. Actually, the demons can never be equal to the pure devotees, but Uddhava was thinking in that way because of his feelings of separation. He was thinking that at the last stage of his life, he might not be able to see the Lord face to face, as did the demons. The fact is that the devotees who are always engaged in the devotion service of the Lord, in the transcendental love, are rewarded many hundreds and thousands of times more than the demons by being elevated to the spiritual planets, where they remain with the Lord in eternal blissful existence. The demons and impersonalists are rewarded the facility of merging in the Brahm Jyoti effulgence of the Lord, whereas the devotees are admitted into the spiritual planets. For comparison, one can just imagine the difference between floating in space and residing in one of the planets in the sky. The pleasure of the living entities on the planets is greater than that of those who have no body and who merge with the molecules of the sun's rays. The impersonalists, therefore, are no more favored than the enemies of the Lord. Rather, they are both on the same level of spiritual salvation. So Uddhavji was thinking that the demons are more fortunate than him, because, like Prabhupada said, he was not sure that he would be able to see the Lord when he leaves the body. But Prabhupada clarifies it here. The devotees are much, much, much more fortunate than any demons or impersonalists. And because the demons or impersonalists, they will be awarded merging in Brahm Jyoti. But merging in Brahm Jyoti is also not a permanent situation. because Bhagavatam later on says they'll fall down from the position. But last line, Prabhupada says the impersonalists or the Mayavadis, they are given the same um, treatment, or they are given the same position as the demons. So demons and impersonalists, they all both are on the same level. Why? Because even the impersonalists or the Nirakaris, Nirvisheshvadis, they speak so much of against Krishna. Because they say, oh, the Supreme Lord has no hands, no mouth, no legs, he doesn't talk, he doesn't eat. So that is so much of talking against him, against his feelings towards his devotees. So the impersonalists and enemies, they're kept in the same criteria by Krishna. But the devotees, look at Uddhava, how he is thinking in the field, in the mode of separation, that, oh, the demons are better than me. And that's also a mode of the devotee, is always humble in one sense. And secondly, oh, look at them, they can see the Lord. So one incident I can remember, in South India, there was a there was a devotee of Lord Ram. His name was Ramdas. It's long time back this story happened. So this Ramdas used to be a minister in a king's court, and somehow, because he was a real devotee of Ram, he would always be chanting Ram's name and talking about Ram. So what happened? There was a beautiful deity of Sita Ram Lakshman, and the temple had to be constructed for the deity, or this Ramdas had the thought of building a temple, but he didn't have that kind of money, and he asked the king for the money for the temple, and king somehow refused. So what Ramdas did, he started stealing money from king. So slowly, he stole money, and then he built a nice temple for the Lord, and beautiful worship was going on for the Lord. But when the temple was built, beautiful worship started happening. So other people, they started complaining to the king that this Ramdas, he has stolen money from you. Otherwise, where did he get the money from to build such a nice temple? So the king asked Ramdas, and Ramdas didn't admit that he had stolen money. Or maybe, let me remember. Yeah, no, he admitted that he had stolen money, but he said, I have spent all the money. So king put him in the prison. He said, you pay me back the money. And this Ramdas happened to be a devotee and a very good poet also. So king said, you pay me back the money. And Ramdas said, I don't have the money. So king put him in the prison. So few days passed by, and Ramdas was in separation from the deities of Sita, Ram, Lakshman. And he was in the prison house. He was singing like that, and he is in such a mood of separation. And now devotees in this mood of separation, they can say things which normally people won't say. In the devotion, they can say. So he was thinking about Sita and Ram, and he was saying, he was like talking to Sita, that who gave you such beautiful dresses? Did you bring it from your father's house? No. Did Ram give it to you? No. I provided those dresses for. And then who gave you such beautiful jewelry? Did you bring it from your father's house? No. Did Ram give it to you? No. I provided the jewelry for you. And Ram and Sita, who provided such a beautiful temple for you? Did Dashrath build it for you? Did Janak Maharaj build it for you? No, I built it for you. And And in that poem, I heard it's a pretty very well written poem in Telugu language. And in the end, then he says that after providing all this, look what I got. You put me in the prison house. Is that fair? This is not at all fair. So he was passing his time like that in the prison house, and he could not get out. So now the king here, he was sitting one day, and two brothers came to him, and the brothers came, and king. They said, actually, Ram Das, he's our distant elder from a village. So we have come to pay off his debt. So king said, okay, this is the amount he stole from me, and this is the interest on top of it. So you pay off everything. So those two brothers, they said, okay, I will take care of it. Then they paid off everything. And the king asked them, what are your names? Who are you? Where are you? Where did you come from? And they said, oh, we live in the village, this village, and our names are. I think they said Ramai and Balai, if I'm not wrong, or something like that. And they went back. So king then ordered Ramdas to be freed. In fact, king ordered the Ramdas to be freed. So Ramdas was surprised, and then the king told him that these two brothers came and they said you are just like their father, and they paid off all the debt. And Ramdas said, what two brothers? I don't have any two these kind of relatives. What did they look like? So king explained to him what did they look like. And then Ramdas was again weeping and crying. He understood Ram and Lakshman had come to pay off his debt. And now he is weeping. And what is he weeping? Again, the same thing. Who paid for all these dresses? Who paid for all the temple? And who did all these services? And who did this? And then in the end, he would say that I did all this, and and you came and gave darshan to the king who had put me in the prison instead of giving me darshan. You never even gave me darshan. So I would love to get hold of these poems, exact poems on the net or wherever that I can find. But I've heard it's a beautiful poems. These are beautiful poems and beautiful temple over there. So this is the mood of a devotee. Of course, he was complaining to the Lord, but this is his devotion service. This is his sentiments towards the Lord. And so he is saying that the king is more fortunate than I am. Because although he imprisoned me, he tortured me, and still you came and gave him darshan. Of course, devotees are more fortunate because king, even though he got the darshan, he never realized that these are Supreme Lord himself. And the devotee, on the other hand, just hearing about the Lord and his pastime, he realized just Ram and Lakshman had come to pay off the loan, to pay off whatever he stole for them. But this is special, very special and very sweet relationship between the Lord and the devotees. Text 25. Vasudevasya devakyam jato bhojendra bandhane chikirshur bhagwanasya sham jena bhiyachitaha. The personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, being prayed to by Brahma to bring welfare to the earth, was begotten by Vasudeva in the womb of his wife Devaki in the prison of the king of Bhoja. Although there is no difference between the Lord's pastimes of appearance and disappearance, the devotees of the Lord do not generally discuss the subject matter of his disappearance, because this gives them lots of pain. The Lord disappeared or he unmanifested his pastime. Vidura inquired indirectly from Uddhava about the incident of the Lord's disappearance by asking him to relate to Krishna Katha or topics on the history of Lord Krishna. Thus Uddhava began the topics from the very beginning of his appearance as a son of Vasudeva and Devaki in the prison of Kansa, the king of the Bhojas at Mathura. The Lord has no business in this world, but when he is so requested by devotees like Brahma, he descends on the earth for the welfare of the entire universe. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhana vinashaya cha dushkrita. So Uddhavji is now starting from the beginning of Krishna's appearance in Mathura, in the prison of Kansa. Unfortunately, that place where Krishna appeared is still looks like a prison house only. It's we should have had a grand temple there, but because Muslims have built a mosque right next to it and still in dispute. But I guess, just like at Ayodhya, Vinay Prabhu can confirm it, the place is in so much of dispute and fightings and everything. But I guess if we become proper devotees of Krishna and Ram, if we start worshipping him properly, if we start behaving properly like devotees of Ram and Krishna, just like they appeared at those places, they can also manifest beautiful temples. Of course, they'll make us work for the temples, that's a different story. But they can manifest these beautiful places as temples if we become proper devotees and if we act properly. Probably we are not acting like devotees, that's when they're not letting us worship them properly at those places. So it's not that any Muslim king or any Supreme Court justice or any prime minister of any country can decide about these places. These places are the spiritual places where Krishna appeared or Lord Ram appeared. So these places don't come under any jurisdiction of any person. But the Lord has withdrawn his complete or wonderful worship at these places because we haven't. We have forgotten him properly. We haven't served him properly. That's why. So if we start serving him properly, if we start behaving properly, we start becoming nice devotees of the Lord, what's so difficult for him to manifest beautiful, huge, marvelous temples at those places? It's not that any Muslim king can ruin the place of worship of the Lord. There's no way he could have done that. Even in the past, there's no way anybody can stop us from worshipping that place. But it's just we are not behaving properly. So barring any political ideas or scenes, but it's just we have to see ourselves as behaving and doing proper worship, proper devotion. So that's why Krishna is, or Lord Ram is separating us from his worship. Text 26. Tato nanda vrajamitaha pitra kansa vibhyata ekadash samas tatra gudharchihi sablava vasat. Thereafter his father, being afraid of Kamsa, brought him to the cow pastures of Maharaj Nanda. And there he lived for 11 years like a covered flame with his elder brother Baladev. There was no necessity of the Lord's being dispatched to the house of Nanda Maharaj out of fear of Kamsa's determination to kill him as soon as he appeared. It's the business of the Asuras to try to kill the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or to prove by all means that there is no God, or that Krishna is an ordinary human being and not God. Lord Krishna is not affected by such determination of men of Kansa's class, but in order to play the role of a child, he agreed to be carried by his father to the cow pastures of Nanda Maharaj, because Vasudeva was afraid of Kansa. So Vasudevji was afraid of Kansa. It's not that Krishna was afraid of Kansa. And because of his love for Devaki and Vasudeva, and the requests and prayers of Devaki and Vasudeva, he agreed to be transferred to a different place, and he asked Vasudevji to take him to the house of Nanda Maharaj in Gokul. Nanda Maharaj was due to receive him as his child, and Yashoda Mai was also to enjoy the childhood pastimes of the Lord. Therefore, to fulfill everyone's desires, he was carried from Mathura to Vrindavan just after his appearance in the prison house of Kansa. He lived there for 11 years and completed all his fascinating pastimes of childhood, boyhood, and adolescence with his elder brother, Lord Baldev, his first expansion. Vasudev's thought of protecting Krishna from the wrath of Kamsa is part of a transcendental relationship. The Lord enjoys more when someone takes him as his subordinate son who needs the protection of a father than he does when someone accepts him as a supreme Lord. He is the father of everyone and he protects everyone. But when his devotee takes it for granted that the Lord is to be protected by the devotee's care, it's a transcendental joy for the Lord. Thus, when Vasudeva, out of fear of Kamsa, carried him to Vrindavan, the Lord enjoyed it. Otherwise, he had no fear from Kamsa or anyone else. So the Lord has no fear, but he was enjoying this reciprocation of mood, this display of affection by Vasudeva and Devaki. And then he wanted to go to Mathura to be with Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya. Although in Bhagavatam 10th canto it is said, he was born simultaneously at Nanda Baba's house. He simultaneously was born from Yashoda Maya's womb and at the same time here in Devaki Mata's womb. And when Vasudevji took Mathura Krishna to Gokul, this Mathura Krishna merged into the body of Vrindavan Krishna or Shyam Sundar Krishna. And when Akrurji came to take away Krishna and Balaram, and similarly Balramji also, when Akrurji came to take away Krishna and Balaram, so this Mathura Krishna leaves Vrindavan. The Shyam Sundar Krishna or Yashodanandan Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. And similarly, Rohini Mata, she gave birth to Balramji. Of course, Balram also, with Krishna, he never leaves Vrindavan. So Balramji, who left with Krishna along with Akrurji, was Ananta Shesh, or you can say, because he has so many roles to play. It could be Ananta, or it could be Vishnu feature, whatever. But the real Balramji, he never leaves Vrindavan also. So there is no question of fearing from Kansa for Krishna and Balram, because they showed it when 11 years, actually it is 10 years and 8 months later when they came back, they killed Kansa effortlessly. And also they wanted to perform this beautiful pastimes for Mother Yashoda and all the Brajvasis. Because Yashoda Maya's tapasya, before Krishna was born, and Nanda Baba's tapasya was different than Vasudeva and Devaki's tapasya. So, although Yashoda Maya had Krishna as her son for 10 years and 8 months only, and rest of 120, because Krishna was on earth for 125 years, so rest of time he stayed in Dwarka, Mathura and Dwarka, along with Vasudeva and Devaki. But Krishna is still always considered as Yashodananda because of the real the superlative degree of love of Yashoda Maya for Krishna and the mood of her love. Of course, both are mothers, Yashoda and Devaki, but Yashoda's love for Krishna was not at all tinged with any awe and reverence. Devaki's love still had some kind of awe and reverence. Some kind of opulence was there, but Yashoda's love for Krishna, nothing. Only love, pure and pure love only. Once I happened to watch a beautiful play directed by Bhakti Mark Maharaj. It was enacted in Mayapur, and it was basically to depict the sentiments and the moods of Devaki and Yashoda. So first he showed, among other pastimes, there were other pastimes. First he showed Krishna being born in the prison house of Kansa, and Devaki is caring for her. And then Devaki tells Vasudeva to take Krishna to Gokul, and then he comes to Gokul, and Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya took care of Krishna. And for 10 years and 8 months, they just loved Krishna. They just protected. They had all the beautiful pastimes. And then after this time, and meanwhile, Devaki in prison house of Kansa, she was crying, she was lamenting, she was in separation from Krishna. And here Nanda Baba and Yashoda are there enjoying. And after 10 years and 8 months, Krishna goes back to Mathura. And now Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya, they were crying, and Devaki and Vasudeva, they were delighted. And the beautiful description he had given, and wonderful acting by all the actors. They were young actors, young devotees actually. And the kind of acting they did, it was amazing. It was just amazing. In fact, after the play, I went to and talked to the girl who played the role of Devaki, and I told her, "You acted so beautifully. I could not stop crying after seeing your acting. And it was beautiful. If I can ever get a video recording of that play, or if you can see that play by Maharaj any other time, it's a wonderful play." So anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. So I guess we can stop here. All have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Thank
Jai
you